The Kei'Mani Latigue situation keeps getting sadder and sadder the more we talk about it. And this time, her family is fighting in court and it's getting messy. Now, you'd think that her family would be more focused on getting justice for her. But right now,
this story just keeps getting darker. A young woman gone too soon, a family torn apart, and a father accused of the unthinkable. And just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, a courtroom battle breaks out over who gets to bury her. The details of this case will chill you to your core. Let's break it down. The heartbreaking case of Kei'Mani Latigue is spiraling deeper into tragedy, and this time it's her own family that's at odds. Rather than coming together to mourn her loss and seek justice, they're battling it out in court over who gets to hold her funeral. Yes, while the world mourns Kei'Mani, her family is fighting over her body. And trust me, the more you learn about this case, the more disturbing it gets. Let's rewind. March 17th, Kei'Mani's grandmother, Dorothy Latigue, who was also her legal guardian, came home to a horrifying scene. The house was a mess. Clothes and personal belongings thrown around, the stove left on with the smell of gas filling the air, and most alarmingly, Kei'Mani was missing. Her glasses and house keys were still inside, but a chilling sign since she had very poor eyesight without them. Dorothy immediately contacted authorities and filed a missing persons report. Kei'Mani's disappearance shook the community, and it wasn't long before unsettling details began to surface. Her mother, Tiara Caston, said she last saw Kei'Mani a few days earlier when her father, Darnell Jones, brought her over for a visit. At the time, Darnell even appeared on the news, pleading for help to find his daughter. But as investigators pieced together the timeline, Darnell's story started to unravel. He claimed Kei'Mani called him late on March 16th, terrified, believing someone was trying to break in. He said he drove over with a cousin, stayed until around 12:30 a.m., then left. But by morning, Kei'Mani was gone. On March 23rd, Darnell Jones was formally charged with abduction. Authorities cited inconsistencies in his statements and a disturbing timeline that didn't add up. Tragically, the very next day, Manny's body was found inside an abandoned building in North Toledo. The discovery was every parent's worst nightmare. Kei'Mani's body showed multiple stab wounds to the neck, signs of assault, and mutilation so severe she was nearly decapitated. Darnell was named the prime suspect. Not only was he the last person to see her alive, but he gave conflicting accounts about what happened that night. And before police could arrest him, he fled. A manhunt ended in Columbus, Ohio, where Darnell was cornered by a SWAT team. Rather than surrender, he reportedly brandished a firearm, prompting police to open fire. He survived and was hospitalized in critical condition. As of now, charges against him include abduction, felonious assault, and potentially more as the investigation continues. But if you thought the tragedy ended there, it didn't. In a shocking turn, a legal battle erupted between Tiara Caston and Dorothy Latigue over who would have the right to arrange Kei'Mani's funeral. Dorothy, having raised Kei'Mani for years, planned a private service, but Tiara claimed she wasn't even going to be invited. Feeling excluded, Tiara took her mother-in-law to court, arguing as Kei'Mani's biological mother, she should have the right to oversee the funeral. But Dorothy maintained that Tiara was largely absent from Kei'Mani's life, and as her primary guardian, it made sense for her to handle the arrangements. The judge ultimately sided with Dorothy, ruling that due to her close personal relationship with Kei'Mani, she would retain the right to manage the funeral. It's a tragic, heart-wrenching situation. Instead of grieving together, this family is shattered, caught in bitter legal disputes while mourning a young life cut short in the most brutal way. And what makes this even harder to process is the growing speculation that members of the family may have failed Kei'Mani in ways we're just beginning to uncover. This case is still developing, and so many questions remain unanswered. Who failed Kei'Mani? Could this tragedy have been prevented? I want to hear your thought below. Do you think the court made the right call? And what should happen next for Darnell Jones?